Hello, I am doing a very unexpected, unedited episode. I literally decided 2 minutes ago to do this. Tom has already left to pick the girls up, and so I have less than my usual half an hour time limit because, my podcast recorder thing goes on for half an hour and then I get cut off. If you're a regular listener, you will have seen me get cut off quite a few times, but we have less than that because bear with. I'm going to have to pause this, aren't I? Tom asked me to flip the jackets. I'll be back. Right. What was I going to say? Yes, so I don't have a huge amount of time, but I'm going to say what I can. I'm going to get out what I can. There's a reason I'm here, and I think it's to elaborate on the message that I shared this morning on an Instagram Live. And that is, all this stemmed from, I put out on my stories this morning, I put Happy Wednesday, and I just put like a couple of things I was doing today. And then I know that so many people use the phrase hump day, and I just don't, and I know why I don't. And so I shared that with my audience, and that is because the connotation of hump day is negative. Like the sort of meaning, the energy underneath using the phrase hump day is like, oh, we're halfway through the week and looking forward to the weekend. Whereas you get to choose how you feel in your life, and you don't have to subscribe to what the general feeling about life is. I know that I live my life, and the way I teach my clients, we live our lives in a very, very different way in terms of our mindset. And because my mindset, and therefore the way I teach my clients' mindset, is this way, we get to create life, or co-create life, manifest a life that is just pretty fucking amazing. Like it's mind-blowing, really. Like, I'm just so happy that this is my life, but it isn't by luck or by accident. I have intentionally made decisions and chosen to do things to get my life to be where it is today. And it's all down to the mindset. It's all down to what I teach my clients. I live and breathe everything that I teach my clients. And so it is having a successful business from a place of utter ease, flow, and fun. And you get to choose, obviously, as a business owner, like, it's the most incredible thing. And yeah, it's the most incredible thing because I have so much freedom, and I've intentionally chose to build my business this way. And I've made choices from very early on in my business because I wanted to grow fast. I didn't want to wait until I reached a certain point in my business to live the way that would afford me to live. So I made choices. Like, I made choices based on the version of the person or the business owner that I wanted to become. I made those choices ahead of time. And this is what you can do in terms of your life. You make choices, you make decisions for where you're going, not now. Because if you make choices for now and where you are now, you're not going to evolve. Like, your brain sees the actions that you're taking and shifts accordingly, where you're choosing to place your attention, your focus, and then all of this weaves into mindset so heavily. And I literally said on this IG Live this morning, mindset's at the root of everything. And where this came from, this episode will probably go out before the next scheduled episode on Monday. And we've got an interview coming up with a lady called Sam. And it's very, very strategy focused. And it's really cool. It's a really good episode. But what was interesting, and what Sam sort of fed back to me, like once we've finished recording, she fed back, she was like, I love how you linked everything, every point that I made, you linked it back to mindset and energetics. And I was like, yeah, I can't really help but do that. Like, that's, I live and breathe it. And it's important, like, for people to understand how influenced how heavily strategy is influenced by mindset, and energetics, like the energy underneath things, is so important. And it's true. Like literally, you could give me anything, and I'll tell you how it's related to mindset. So yeah, where am I going with this? I think I just want to share with you my day to day, and how the choices that I make regardless of how much income I'm making. And this, like, I'm so proud of the way that I run my business. When I look back and I share with you that last year when I pivoted, end of August, if you're interested, if you're new to my world since then, I put out a podcast episode called Update. I think it was the end of August last year. It basically, I had an intuitive nudge to reach out to a former mastermind sister. And I did, and she is very intuitive as well. And basically, what came out of that conversation was confirmation that my next sort of up level is becoming a business mindset coach. And I was actually already doing that already in my one-to-one spaces. Like, I was working with entrepreneurs and I was loving it. But I had this group program called Change Your Life. And if you looked at my marketing, if you looked at my Instagram, any of my social media, it was all focused around Change Your Life. You wouldn't have a clue that I was helping business owners, but I was. And what came out of this conversation was like, there's a shift coming, Jenna. Like, you are born to help like business owners, because the impact is greater. If you like, because I don't just help any business owners, I help business owners that are here to make a positive impact on the world and leave the world a better place. So if I'm helping business owners who are then helping people, like, that ripple effect is far greater. And so yeah, I pivoted, and classic me, like, I just make a bold move, and I just trust myself, and I just utterly trust that I'm always fully supported, and I don't doubt intuition. I follow it every single time. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit like, oh, fuck, this is a big, bold move. And you'll literally hear that. Like, I didn't hold anything back in that update episode. I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm taking you along for the ride, and let's do this. Like, I trust my intuition. And so, yeah, I pivoted in August, and didn't ever doubt myself, backed the vision, backed everything that I was doing, like, had so much self-trust. But the reality was that I didn't really make any money between August and August to December. And I was the only one in the house making money. By this point, like, Tom had left teaching, my husband had left teaching, I got the business to a place, like, I didn't pivot because I wasn't being successful in Change Your Life and the work that I was doing before. It was really successful. It was making really good money. I did it from a place of alignment. Like, what I live and breathe, I have to be in integrity with it. And when I know that there's an up level or there's a pivot for me, I have to do that, because otherwise I'm not in alignment, and it's just out of integrity, like, it just can't do that. So even though I was making good money, and even though I was the only one making money in the house, Tom was doing his master's, he'd left teaching because the business was going really well. I was like, fuck it. I know this is the right thing to do. I'm going to follow my heart. I didn't know that I wasn't going to make any money for months and months and months. But yeah, just went with it, just, backed myself every step of the way. And I'd started doing things like getting monthly massages, and just, really, like, getting my nails done, and, really allowing myself to act like a six-figure business owner before I was one. And then I was not making money, after I did that pivot, I wasn't making money. But I trusted, like, I saw this vision in my mind, and I knew that it would come good. If I held the energy and I just carried on doing what I was doing with consistency, with the mindset work, and with everything that I was doing, I knew that compound effect would pay off. And it did. But I didn't fall into scarcity mode. I didn't think, fuck, I've not made money for 3 months. I'm going to stop having my nails done. I'm going to stop, going for a massage, because that's not holding the energy. That is not it's just like that would be action taken from a scarcity mindset. And so I stayed, it was a testament to everything that I teach now. It's like as in order to be a really, really good coach, you can't just teach and coach on stuff that you've not lived through. Um, and and so it obviously happened for me in order for me to be the coach that I am today. And in order for everything to evolve the way it has. And so, yeah, no money really, like next to no money from between August to the end of November. And I could really feel momentum. Like I could feel momentum building throughout the time, but just something like I could just feel something big was about to happen right at the end of November. But nothing actually like materialized like in sort of reality at the end of November. And that's cool because like I know, and I've shared this, I know I've definitely shared this at some point, that it doesn't matter if you don't hit your income goals in for a month. It doesn't matter because the month is man-made. The concept of, I don't know how many days in June, 30. The concept of June finishing on June the 30th and July starting on the 1st, that's a man-made concept. And so there's no difference between June the 30th and July the 1st. And if you give your power away to that, then that's not working. So I held the energy, I held the belief. I didn't give my power away to be like, oh fuck, it's not work. November's come and gone and it didn't work. No, I didn't do that at all. And then I had my biggest ever month in December. In the first few days, it was insane. And it's just, why am I saying all this? Let me just can't even remember why I came into all of this. I think it's just about. I've really lost my train of thought. It's just about mindset. Like that's really ultimately what it comes down to, and intentionally choosing your actions from a place of an abundance mindset. And also, building your business from a place of no push. Because when you can do that, when you can completely release the pressure, you open up your channel for creativity and inspiration to drop in. And so there's zero pressure ever on me in my business. Yesterday, didn't get hardly anything done. I actually felt pretty rough yesterday. I don't know why. I think it was like a bubbling tummy bug thing under the surface. But I did my client work and I can't really remember. Yeah, I did my Powerhouse Portal call and I had a one-to-one. But apart from that, I don't think I really did much, and that was okay. And I didn't wake up today thinking, right, I've got to be super productive to make up for yesterday. Absolutely not. Nope. And I've had a great day. I have scheduled in a new yoga class, been to that, loved that. I didn't have anything set up really to do today. Like I've got my big overall to-do list that I'm chipping away at for the week. Had a discovery call, I had a one-to-one and my yoga class. And other than that, I was just like, right, we'll see what happens. And that is always the way I run things because I'm led by my intuition. And so something led me to put that little asterisk in my stories this morning where I explained why I never say hump day, why I never talk about Wednesday being a hump day. The fact that the connotation of that is you're just, biding your time to get to the weekend when actually every single day is a gift. Just words are so powerful. So I would never use the phrase hump day. And then took my girls to nursery, and on the way back, it dropped in that needed expanding upon, because the reason I've got the business to where it is today is because of mindset, and the work that I've done on myself to be able to have this much freedom, this much ease. And I see, I'm in group coaching programs where, I'm a client, and I just see people really making it so much harder for themselves than it needs to be. So much harder than it needs to be. And they're just risking burnout and just exhausted. And, it's just so many issues going on in their business. And I'm like, I don't even think they get it. They don't, and that's okay. I know in the past, that would have really like bothered me. I'd have been like, you need my work. But now I'm just like, no, everything's happening for a reason, and eventually, hopefully they'll come around to the fact, they'll realize, maybe they'll see one of my Facebook ads where I say your subconscious doesn't care about your goals, and like they'll find my work. But that's by the by. Like, I'm not gonna drain my energy thinking that person definitely needs my work and I wish they would find me. No, absolutely not. I just see it and I'm like, there's an easier way, and it fuels me to carry on doing my work from a place of personal power, sharing, adding value, sharing via this podcast, via IG lives, via my mailing list. And it just gets to be so amazing, so amazing, so joyful. And I picked up a little sort of pricing list at this place that I went to yoga earlier, and on there's things like Indian head massage and what do you call it? What's the other thing? Reflexology. And I'm like, oh yes, I'd love to try that, and I'd love to try that, and I'm going to make it happen because, like, why not? I've got so much time. And this is the other thing I wanted to share with you. When you, like, your relationship with time matters so much, because the scarcity mindset is that you are, what's the word? It's like you've got a clock chained to you all the time, and you're constantly aware of how much time you've got to get stuff done, or feel like there's this energy of time is so scarce, time is so limited, and rush, got to get this done. Oh, I've not had time to do that yet. And it just, like, it feels pretty frantic and relentless. And that's the way that you work your business in an unsustainable way. That's the way where you're like, right, guys, I need a holiday. I'm taking this time off. Whereas it doesn't have to be that way. You can take a holiday because you desire a holiday from a place of, it's great to unplug from your business and gain inspiration and experience, like, utter freedom of time away from your business. But that's from a place of desire rather than from a place of, I need this holiday, otherwise I'm going to fucking burn out. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. And unfortunately, it's such a problem in the online space because people are driven by this scarcity mindset because of the programming that they have, the subconscious programming, and it doesn't have to be that way. So where am I coming back to with that? Oh yeah, so your relationship with time, like, it really doesn't have to be that way when you can realize that actually time is an illusion. And the more you can come at your business and life from a place of, I come first before my business, and from a place of abundance, and there is plenty of time. There is, I have everything I need and everything is always working out for me. So it is, because I chose, like, even though yesterday was pretty much a complete write-off for me in terms of, like, the work I got done in my business, and I'm out all day Friday. I'm at an event in London, and I spent Monday, the whole of Monday, pretty much meeting up with a friend, like, not getting a huge amount done in terms of, like, if you looked at my schedule and how much available time I have this week, it doesn't look like a lot. But I still chose to go to my dance class on Monday morning, despite knowing that I was going to see my friend most of the day. I still chose to go to yoga today, despite knowing that yesterday was a bit of a write-off in terms of my productivity levels. Now, that makes a difference. Holding those boundaries for myself makes a difference because I am putting myself first, and I'm not putting pressure on myself as a business owner to get X, Y, and Z done. And that in itself is a game changer. When you release the pressure, you just allow yourself to create and work in your business from a place of flow, from a place of inspiration. So I set an intention, like, and I never ever tell myself I need to go live this week or I need to email my mailing list this week. No, absolutely not. Because when you tell yourself I need to do something or I should do something, you're just, like, blocking your creation, your creativity. You're blocking what can come through for you because you're creating resistance, basically. So I get rid of all of the shoulds and all of the I have to do this because I've not done this in ages. I get rid of all that and I just set an intention and I say, I will go live if I feel inspired. Or if I've got something to share with my mailing list, I will do that. Or if I feel inspired to create a reel, or I feel inspired to share something as a Facebook status, or I feel inspired to show up on stories to share something, then I will. And that's how everything flows so nicely in my business because I allow myself to flow. I allow myself to be led by intuition. But the only way you can do that is by sorting out any limiting beliefs so that you don't avoid doing things because there's a subconscious story at play. And also you don't you can't just flow and follow your intuition if you're being led by sort of an obsessive need to work because you don't feel safe in your business, or there's there's subconscious issues or subconscious programming that is causing you to feel like you have to do things a certain way because you're nervous or there's fear about something happening. For example, I'll share an example. I had a client who is in my graduate coaching program, actually, and they voice noted me asking me something, and I didn't get back instantly. And they don't that's actually out of my boundaries. That's not part of the program. That's not part of what they pay for to get voice note support. And I have clients who pay for that. And so there was resistance. There was definitely resistance in me to get back to that. So I didn't. There was resistance and I just didn't. And it came, so we have a group coaching call at the end of the month. And I just messaged them back to say, hey, so sorry, I haven't got back to this. Things have probably changed, and I'll coach you on it tonight on the call. If you are desiring more support, let me know and I'll share ways that we can do that. And they came back to me and said, yes, please. And they are now working with me. They've now upgraded basically for paying for one-to-one WhatsApp support. So that is an example of me holding my boundaries, not being afraid of what would happen if, X, Y, Z. It's just not being led by fear. And actually, I'm really excited for them and what's available now. And that would never have transpired if I had carried on coaching for free in WhatsApp when that wasn't actually part of the deal. So how long have we got left? I reckon the girls are about to walk through. What time is it? Okay, I'm maybe trying to wrap this up intentionally before actually they come in. Right, okay, what am I trying to say? That's it, basically. I think it's just coming on to share with you that mindset is at the root of everything. And it's about really prioritizing mindset, because if in your business right now, okay, great, turn on extreme battery saver, no thank you. If anything right now in your business feels heavy or a struggle, then it doesn't need to be, because you have all the answers within you and you deserve support if you want support. So, if you're new to your business and you're not sure on the strategy, then you can invest in strategy. Or if you're more established and you actually do have the strategy, but you're just tying yourself up in knots, like creating all sorts of drama, and it's feeling harder than it needs to be, then I really, really would love to invite you to see the issue as a mindset thing, because it really doesn't need to be this hard for you. It really, really doesn't. And you get to create amazing things when you're programming. Like, I had a one-to-one client this morning, And it's amazing. We haven't seen each other for 2 weeks because she went away. And we spent ages talking about what's been good. There's been so many things, so many up levels happening for her. And this is really, really exciting. And then we literally had 20 minutes to do the hypnosis. And basically, I, as part of the hypnosis, I programmed in that she's up leveling with ease, energetically, financially, in terms of like she needs to move house soon, and she's gonna, basically manifestation. Like manifestation is just neuroscience, and like it's your subconscious mind that needs to be programmed to what you want and needs to be on board. So essentially I programmed in during this hypnosis that everything is always working out for you. Everything is always working out for you. You might have heard that as a bit of an Abraham Hicks saying, and it's great. Like you can affirm that all the time and you can look out for that. But what if that was programmed into your subconscious mind so that literally you believe everything is always working out for you? It literally does that way. Anyways, you can hear my girls at home. I'm going to stop there. Thanks so much for listening. See you all soon. Love you lots. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Bigger Than You podcast with your host, Jenna Holloway. If this episode has been valuable to you, please share it with a friend or leave a review.